Hello Spartans, and welcome to another commentary style video. Previously with this series I've discussed decision making, matchups and abilities, mainly related to the spear weapon line inside the Solar Mists. In this video I'm gonna share some highlights from me and my friends roaming in Avalon. You're gonna see the perspective of a melee DPS playing on deathgivers. We're gonna be discussing mainly damage output, combos, rotations on deathgivers, but most of these concepts can be applicable on all melee DPS weapons. While playing in a group, it's important to have a good understanding of positioning as well as targeting. And in short, this video is gonna cover my decision making while playing in a group. And in this first clip, we can hear people clearing a mob camp. There's this 3-man group trying to do PvE. When I inspect them, I realized they're just a PvE group, so they won't really pose a threat in a PvP scenario. 2 of them are tier 8 equivalents, meaning one of them is tier 4. I kill one of the curses and loot some of his body. I try to ignore the crossbow since it's not really worth anything. The build I'm using has quite good mobility, and it has Stalker Hood as well, so it's really good at killing stuff like Assassin Jacket or Undead Cape. I reveal his invis and try to finish him. Notice as well I'm using Deadwater Eel Stew. It provides me with damage and cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction is really important on deathgivers. Deathgivers is Q reliant, meaning if you lose your stacks you can't reset your E spell. So with cooldown reduction I can miss a Q spell and keep my stacks. And for this next fight we run into another PvE group clearing a golden chest. They're quite a decent sized group and they have quite good gear, so we decide to overcharge. Before we start discussing this fight, I'm gonna start off with some concepts that helps us winning this fight. In the game right now, there's 3 game mechanics that helps players win outnumbered fights. There's focus fire protection. It increases your resilience and survivability depending on how many players you're fighting at the same time. There's AoE damage escalation. AoE damage escalation increases damage of AoE abilities depending on how many players you hit at the same time with some of Albion's AoE damage abilities. And the last mechanic I want to highlight is diminishing returns, and most notably the crowd control diminishing returns one. Crowd control diminishing returns will reduce the amount of crowd control that you will take depending on what type you have been affected with previously. The reduction is depending on how long you have been affected by that same type of crowd control. So just as an example, if you get stunned by a weapon, if another weapon stuns you slightly after, it will have reduced duration. Keep in mind as well, the max timer will change next patch, meaning it will cap out faster, so it will have a slightly higher effect. Keep in mind as well, there's active buffs and stats that cannot go above or beyond certain points. This game mechanic is in place to deter players from stacking certain buffs or debuffs from certain weapons and armors. Now with all of this out of the way, let's take a look at this team. With a little bit of experience, you should be able to tell based on their appearance what gear they have. And make sure for yourself to disable your wardrobe skins for your opponent. There is really no point in having them on except for aesthetics. It's a PvE team and they have 2 tanks. They have 1 Incubus Mace and 1 Enigmatic Staff. The Enigmatic Staff is running Judicator Armor. Meanwhile, the Incubus Mace is running Guardian Armor. They're gonna be really annoying to deal with since they make it really hard for me to kill enemy healers and DPS. Their main damage dealers are gonna be the Permafrost and the Battle Axe. They have a Hollow Fall healer with a Mist Caller. And the last 2 members are a Bow of Badan with Royal Jacket. And the downed player is a Shadow Caller. Notice here as well, since they previously have done PvE, some of them might have PvE spells as well. I can't really execute the downed player here, they will just interrupt the execute. So I try to focus the healer and apply some pressure. They have 2 tanks that have good disengage. I tried to focus the healer initially, but I realized the Battle Axe got really chunked, so I tried to finish him. I got my 3 stacks up, and I fucked up my combo a little bit, but it ends up getting the job done. Now with my E on cooldown, I just try to stick on them and apply some pressure. Ideally, I would like to target the enemy healer or the Permafrost. Also, something to keep in mind here, since we're only 2 and there are a lot more, If we do end up killing the healer here, they will usually just split and run away. It's gonna be really hard to kill multiple people if they decide to run opposite direction, since I'm the only DPS. This fight could have been a lot better if I was not on Shadow Edge. Shadow Edge does not really help me in this fight here. I should have run either Forbidden Stab or Chain Slash. The enemy teams ends up using their defensives pretty bad here. They stack on everyone, so I can get insta-free stacks, which ends up killing the permafrost. At this point in the fight, I killed their main 2 DPS players. They had a Battle Axe and a permafrost. Now without their main damage dealers, I don't really have to worry about dying. They don't really have enough damage output, and my healer is gonna heal more than I receive. At this point in the fight, they realized they can't really win anymore. They started running. At this point, I just have to try to play around all of their defensives. They have Guardian Armor, Judis, Guard Runes, Enigmatic Staff. Fall has a lot of defensives with Cleric Robe and Cleric Cowl as well. So I just try to look for mistakes in the enemy team and try to kill them. My build also has a little bit of struggles with mana in prolonged fights. My only source of mana regeneration is from my Limhurst Cape. They also recently nerfed Dagger Q spell, meaning if I miss my Q spell, it will be more punishable with mana. Something to consider here is the enemy holy player is playing Beam, since they're still on PvE abilities. This being said, usually this will mean the healer is gonna be a lot easier to kill. Even though the enemy healer doesn't have a W to heal himself, I still have a lot of defensives to go through. The healer alone, as mentioned before, has Cleric Cowl as well as Cleric Robe. They have 2 disengaged tanks. There is a Guardian Armor on the Mace, as well as a Judicator Armor on the Enigmatic Staff. They have several E-spells as well to stun and help the enemy healer. At this point in the fight, I'm just trying to look for mistakes and a window to kill the enemy healer. He's the only cloth player in the enemy team, so he's a lot squishier than the rest. It's gonna be a lot harder to kill anyone else, because the healer has beam as well as W. As mentioned before here, if I would have a different W, the fight would be a lot easier. I do have poison as my potion, so it will be a lot easier to kill the healer, because he will be able to die from a higher HP threshold. I get stacks on a close by rat to try to chase the enemy players. I do get full mana again from my Limmer Escape, and I try to chase the players. At this point, they're not even trying to kill me anymore, they're just trying to run to the gate. I'm getting a little bit short on time to kill the enemy healer. I'm getting quite annoyed by this point, because they have so much peel for the enemy healer. I try to kill him here with Stalkerhood, but he gets a healing and a shield off. I try to finish the bow, but he ends up getting a shield and a guardian armor. This was a huge mistake on my part. I lost a lot of pressure because of this. I don't really have any window of opportunity here to pressure anyone since my E is on cooldown. I get stunned here and tank ends up kiting me, so I lost my stacks. I don't have a potion anymore. I use my poison in my last attempt to kill the healer. At this point, they're getting quite close to escaping. They're not attacking me, so they try to get out of combat. The healer refreshed his combat timer by using his knockup on me. Here they still don't attack me, they just use abilities that doesn't affect combat state, meaning they will be able to zone when the healer is out of combat. I try to stack up on everyone and use my E to kill him, but he gets too much kite. Use E for distance and is able to zone. Since no one has attacked me here, they can just zone away. This was quite a fun fight, but the fight was really close. The only reason we was able to win in that fight was because we killed their 2 main DPS in the very beginning of the fight. For this next fight, we spotted 2 players roaming in Avalon. It's a Curse and a Batlax player. Since there was no shortages on the other side of the portal, my friend thought this was a forced 2v2 fight that we would easily win. I dismount the Curse player, and the Batlax dismounted as well to go for the fight. This fight is quite easy. The healer will usually use out heal the damage that they cause. I rest potion used for good measure. The enemy players are 8.1, so it's better to be safe than sorry, I guess. I kill the curse player and my healer loots him. I keep chasing the Batlax. Batlax only has his W and the boost for mobility, so he can't really escape me. He ends up using his Gigantify potion, but it doesn't really end up mattering. I play this fight quite sloppy, but it doesn't really matter since I have a healer. Without a healer here, he will probably win the 1v1. Now for this clip, it's quite funny backstory. We fought this group already. It's a 3-man group, we killed 2 of them and 1 of them survived. I forgot to record it, which was quite unfortunate. My teammate ends up getting down by mobs for 3 minutes, so I try to stall. As we could guess by now, this is 1 zone away from Portal, so his friends re-geared and came back. My friend is coming up really soon, so I just try to stall it a little bit. He ends up taking mob aggro, and very stupid of me, I take the full mob spell, dealing huge amount of damage to me. I try to stall a little bit and get healed by my teammate. I wasted Respot and Healing Jacket here, so I don't really have any defensives. I use my E to disengage and install the timer. At this point, if we stabilize, we should have an easy win, so I used to waste my E just for distance. I ends up dodging my own teammate's E spell here, which was quite unfortunate, so we decide to kite a little bit. If we stabilize and wait on our cooldowns, we should have an easy win. I waste my limbers and use my boots to disengage. At this point we should be fine. My teammate has his W and E spell really soon, and I have my healing jacket back up. Since the enemy to DPS is quite far away, I start targeting the enemy healer. Here I fuck up my combo a little bit. I could have E Stalkerhood E and the enemy healer would have probably died. I ended up using my W for extra damage, which put me out of position to execute him, because I put him out of my E range. I keep targeting the enemy healer. I still have my E up, but I end up making a big mistake here. End up using my auto attack before E, which ends up neglecting the E damage with his cleric robe. Since the enemy healer decided to use his boots to kite and reset, I decide to kill one of the DPS. At this point we kill one of the DPS, so my healer shouldn't really have any pressure anymore. Now at this point I just try to focus the enemy healer and kill him with one of my rotations. I have 3 stacks and my Stalkerhood coming up off cooldown. I try to bait out the Clerical, which I successfully do. There's no point in chasing the DPS here, so I try to just poke the enemy healer. I was really close to kill him here, but I end up doing my rotation pretty badly, and I wrote out of mana again. I used my full rotation into his W spell. His W gave him a lot of resistance to reduce my damage output, and because of that he ends up surviving. He places down his E spell and resets his health a little bit. Here I have kill pressure again. I use E Stalkerhood into E. I did same mistake as last time. I tried to maximize my damage output by using an auto attack, which ends up proccing his cleric robe. I don't have my boots up and the enemy healer boots away. I can't really chase him here and I'm really low on mana, so I just try to only Q stack on the DPS to keep my stacks. At this point it's gonna be really hard for me to kill the enemy healer. I barely have enough mana to kill him here, but I have my Limmer's Cape coming up, cooldown. Same as last time as well, something to keep in mind is that just as last time, it's 1 zone away from Portal Zone. So he might have 1 or more friends coming to help him if we don't kill him soon. I end up using my Limmer's Cape and regaining some mana. At this point I'm looking for a rotation to kill the healer when my boots come back up. I just try to stick on the enemy healer and apply pressure. I try to just stack up my Q stacks. Ideally I would like to target the healer since he's on cloth armor, but he's out of range, so it's gonna be a little bit rough. Both me and the healer use our boots to run to the portal. At this point I have a good opportunity here to kill him. I get my 3 stacks up and I try to execute him here, but he was barely out of Stalkerhood range. The enemy healer ends up using his E and cleric robe to reset, and his teammate come back. Here I use both my E, so it's on cooldown, and if I don't kill him within 1 or 2 rotations, I'm gonna have mana struggles again. At this point I have a really good opportunity here. Enemy healer wasted his cleric robe, clerical and his E spell, so he's really vulnerable here. But I don't really have a good opportunity to exploit that, since I missed my Q spell here. The enemy healer uses his E to reset everyone back to full health, and I miss my Q, as well as getting it interrupted. I try to get my Q stacks back up and try to look for a window to kill the healer. Suddenly there's another player zoning into the zone. I stop attacking a little bit to check if there is more people coming. We might need to zone back through Avalon if there's a lot of people zoning into our zone. At this point we need to adapt a little bit to win the fight. The enemy healer is playing quite well. I try to kite a little bit, get out of combat, so I can swap my boots to enigmatic sprint, so I don't have as much mana struggles, and I try to swap my potion to poison pot as well, to make it easier to kill the healer. The enemy to DPS doesn't really have enough kill pressure to kill my healer, so I can just without problems kite out of the fight a little bit to swap my spells and regain my mana. I use my Q spell to get a little bit more distance to not get into the fight with the axe. Something to note as well is that the bear paw player that's hovering me, mounted on a moose, received damage from the stock jacket. That means he's not in the same party as the other guys we're currently fighting. After swapping my boot spell and my potion to poison pot, we decide to go for a re-engage. Now I will have a lot better tools to kill the enemy healer. I do have enigmatic sprint now and Lymenhurst cape off cooldown, so I will not have the same amount of mana struggles as before. I gap close and stack up my Q spells on the DPS and later turn on the nature. End up killing him with Stalkroot E in 2Q. He was a little bit slow and he died with Cleric Robe and Cleric Cowl off cooldown. Now at this point this fight should be pretty easy, it's just about a cleanup. I try to kill the Soul Scythe, but he ends up kiting me with his boot spell, which is quite annoying. Ended up killing him and looting him. The enemy bear paw decides to focus me, but they can't really kill me since we have a healer and they don't. The enemy bear paw is more used than the enemy battle axe, so I try to focus him. He does have quite good escape gear with Undead Cape and Royal Sandals, but I try to go for him anyway since the battle axe is so close to the gate. He ends up trying to cut to the gate since he's out of combat. He ends up using his W into Invis Potion, end up revealing it with my healing jacket. He does use Assassin Jacket here. I have my Stark Road so I can reveal it, but if I reveal his Assassin Jacket I can't really kill him through the Undead Cape. I have already used my boots at this point, so I don't really have enough chase to be able to get him to the portal. He's out of combat here, so he can zone whenever he wants. All in all, this fight was quite poorly played on my part. I did miss a lot of opportunities to kill the enemy healer, but at the end of the day, we still managed to win. Just after this fight, the enemy players regeared and came back. At this point, we thought there would be a lot higher numbers, so we decided to refood again since our food was running out, and we decided to overcharge as well. Important tip here to maximize damage on deathgivers is to look to queue several people to get stacks up quicker. Ended up being able to kill the enemy healer really quick here since he didn't really use his defensives. After killing the healer here, it's just a matter of time. They can't really escape here, so we end up just killing them. Yes, this overcharge in the beginning of the fight was really unnecessary. We saw another group close by as well, so that's why we decided to overcharge. And for this next fight, we have been running after Avalon team that doesn't really want to fight us. Some of them went through the portal and the charges was out, so all of the entire party couldn't zone. We tried to look for a fight here before the teammates came back. At the moment there is just a battle axe and a holy healer. This matchup shouldn't be a problem at all since we are a lot higher IP than the opponents. At this point it's just a matter of time before the team comes back. I'm trying to stack up on the healer here, and since the DPS stacked on top of me, I get 2 stacks immediately. Since the enemy DPS is playing Great Axe, it's really hard for him to apply pressure on my nature healer. Great Axe is an immobile weapon, and it's gonna be really hard for him to apply pressure, because my nature can just run away, and he has stuff like Cleric Robe against his E as well. At this point we already won the fight. My friend saw some teammates of the Great Axe coming from the northwest gate, but it was already too late at this point since we already killed the enemy healer. I got a little bit close to dying here and decided to kite for my healer's cooldowns before killing him. This fight could have been a lot different if their teammates was closer to the gate. I think, if I remember correctly, I think they had stuff like Permafrost and a Runbreaker as well. This is quite an obvious tip, but generally when you're playing Roads of Avalon with a group, you should make sure that the entire group plays in the same zone, so you're close by to help each other in case scenarios like this happens. Now I'm gonna share some close fights from Duo Mists, and at the end I'm gonna share some highlights from group content with voice comms. Hopp in gör.
Dismounted one.
Okay,
He's running.
Okay.
He's kinda shit, but maybe it's force a fight.
We have a run.
They're leaving him to. No, they're dismounting.
Nice, okay.
Coming
We're
to
fighting
you.
him. We're fighting.
Come here.
Bruh.
Where they fucking mounted up?
Dismount him.
I'm sure they're gonna leave him to die.
Oh!
Nice!
Yeah, nice. Good job, good job.
Okay, got one.
Some of
You
it.
get out of there, you get out. Yeah, I got
They're
it.
dismounting.
Go on hill.
2 stacks. 3 stacks. 3 stacks.
Haha.
Lol.
Absorb all that bitch ass.
On heal.
Wait, on hill. I'm dropping hill here. Never
Okay.
mind.
Pierce? Oh, okay.
Hillian.
Pierce.
I'm going Hillian.
Third drop.
Wait, go on hill here. Ready? Ready? Here? No.
Poison.
After.
Pierce. Pierce.
I think this is
I'm
enough. Yeah, he dies.
I'm good.
I got no heal. I dropped heal. Who's stacked? Is anyone stacked?
I'm
This guy, I
fucked.
guess.
I'm fucked. Fucking good. I'm good.
Kill one.
I need help.
I need to kill back.
I need help as well.
I need help.
I'm dropping everyone.
I'm
If you guys will survive.
I might die.
Everyone is dead.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, I got your shit.
Yes.
Wait, they're coming?
That's good.
Another team? Oh, actually run! Full reset.
Okay, I'm gonna loot everything.
I'm mounting. Oh,
I'm gonna try to reset here somehow.
Oh my god, run, Bazaki, run! Kill him.
I mean, I'm running.
Run,
naked.
Bazaki.
Yeah, run Musaki, run Forest. Okay, it's fine.
Mazaki, just run.
Should I come and heal
Think
you?
you're
or-
good?
I'm good. I'm reset.
I'm in. Let's go.
Where is
Still
he?
silent, but okay.
Oh, bro.
Um,
I'm gonna keep the spider aggroed.
okay.
Team.
They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight.
Do we?
I'm gonna put them to.
I can dismount. Should I?
They
Check it one.
dismounted. They dismounted. Go. The healer. Get the healer. Healer dismounted. Healer is so dismounted.
Stuck. Spider. He's stuck.
No, I dropped my thing. Wrong.
Wrong.
We're fully taunting.
I'll get him.
This guy's dead. Nice.
Let's.
Heal next.
What the fuck?
He's back.
I drop him in 10.
More people coming. People behind, but there's
I got fear.
gankers.
Go for them
I got
instead. Go for the gankers instead. Actually, they can't shit. Oh, it's same team. What?
I got kill him. The one that got me. I got
Musaki,
kill
coming
him.
soon or? Musaki?
2 seconds. Wait up.
I'm on a struggle soon. I feel you.
Oh fuck! Kaba, you're
Okay.
fucked. I don't have
I
you.
got kill him. Hold
Okay,
it.
nice.
I got kill him.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, Cabal, one Devi. On me? One David.
No. I dropped it. 10 seconds. 8 seconds.
I need to preserve mana.
Kaba, have you? Nah, bro, I got cancelled again.
I'll drop my stacks.
You're in trouble, Kaba. You're in trouble.
I have one Devi. One Devi. Now?
No.
Oh, he.
Oh, fuck that.
You kill one.
I heal.
I'm back.
I'm full heal. Nice.
I'll limmer soon. I can almost go again. Healer zoom. We win.
Oh,
Just
man.
surviving, we win.
Go. On heal.
I can pierce in 3.
He dies.
Pierce.
Nice.
Oh, super. Execute elegance.
This guy, you go for him. I go for else.
I can't face.
It's PM.
Bro, I
It's a
can't
gag.
do shit, bro.
No, it's fine. Hey, get him.
Get him!
I got him.
Autos! Yes!
I-
He dies. Yeah, he shoved, he dies.
He has
yes,
3, by the way. He has 3.
I think I have to kill him for it.
Yeah, let's go. Come through it.
I think I can heal you for it too.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna zone. What is it?
Nah, he's breathing into the curse. So what?
Wait, what? It's not his turn.
Okay.
I'm hunting.
Yeah,
I'm going Shadow Edge to kill him.
For Sterling we is procced.
Yeah, he just dies, no?
Yeah,
I
you
have
should
a
die here. Why? What? Fuck around and find out, bitch.
Yeah, he dies. Nice. Bye.
No.
Oh, he dies.
Oh, he's in combat.
Oh, he's in combat.
What
What?
the fuck? This 5 mil!
What?
Wait, don't fight,
Hello,
don't fight.
excuse
It's
me.
5 mil.
Yeah.
Loot the rest. Loot rest.
Yeah,
Everyone loot,
I'm taking all the aggro. Don't worry.
Everyone loot,
guys can
everyone
loot.
loot.
You guys can loot. I'll be the
Yeah.
sacrificial pawn. You
got
guys know
it?
how it works.
I will get it.
Okay, we picked up everything up.
Mats.
Let's go back.
What
Let's
is
go
it?
back.
Do we go Ava?
This guy. Really stacked guy here. Sop. The 8.1 equivalent. Brawling gear.
Okay, I'm gonna hover.
They might wanna fight. They dismounting. Should I try it?
Yeah. Okay, go walk towards me when you're done everything. Okay, I'm dismounted. Okay, let's fight. We'll fight this. I focus the healer, obviously. Oh, what the fuck.
Wait, the healer's gonna back.
Holy shit. Holy shit. They have so much damage, I can't.
We
Holy.
might wanna disengage.
Yeah,
her.
I'm fine. I have full healer in 3. No. Fuck! Okay, I'm fucked. Overcharge.
I'm sorry, I'm CCing.
Overcharge.
On me, oh wait, I kill him, we kill him. Heal it. I kill heal.
Oh, we're good. Oh.
Kill heal. 1 HP heal. Kill him. Oh, we got him. Heal.
Nice. I need peel.
I'm coming. Oh, I got.
Oh! Wait, we stay alive, we kill everyone.
Yes, I'm good.
I purge soon. Here.
Okay.
We kill everyone! Sheesh!
But like, I'm man. I feel like I played that perfectly.
They have fucking 3 mil on them. Yeah.
We're gonna get fart party by the other guys.
Whatever, just don't commit too hard. Just
They
push them away.
dismounted here. 5,
No,
I see 5 of them.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
don't
letting
chase
you know.
us.
I see 5.
Okay. Are they behind us or on us?
Behind us. They're
Oh,
mounted.
okay,
that's
let's
the
spread and
They have a
spread
miraculous.
your legs.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
so they
going
don't-
to be close to you
So
at
they don't
least.
clump. Yeah,
Somewhat
so they don't
close.
clump, you know. Yeah,
They're
I'm
dismounting,
gonna be fine.
they're dismounting.
I have cleric, but just don't clump
They all
together.
said. They also.
Yes. We're like,
Give me stacks.
I need stacks as well. Nice.
yeah.
Chill.
Okay, I'm gonna have to run away, you know.
I'm gonna have big pressure on healer.
Yeah. I have the full heal and 9 seconds. 9 seconds. Survive 9 seconds. 6, 5, 4,
I might drop healer.
Poison!
1. Now.
I need heals. Oh, I died.
Oh, you died, bro.
Your U was 1 second late.
Yeah. It's fine.
I
We
need
said
a
that
hell
this was take
injected.
this.
I might kill healer.
Oh yeah, you're going.
I kill him. Please drop him.
What?
Nice.
I killed him.
We win. Don't die. I have full heal.
The Maracas is running. He has the loot.
Nice.
Nice. I fucked him up.
The chest got fucking yoinked. I didn't even see. I'm coming for heal. Ping. Don't
Yeah,
run
I'm
away
good.
from Okay.
They're dismounting. Oh, this is that's the fuck. Go in this guy instead.
Go. Oh, he's super.
Oh
rat.
my god.
bruh.
Now I get neither.
Bruh.
I don't have mana for the E. I get him here.
Sorry, I tried to come back.
Nice. There's some chest loot.
Get him, Pingu. Get him. Get him.
I'm just gonna get this guy instead.
Oh, nice. He's a healer. Yeah, they're gonna.
Who's the
dismount for
healer?
sure.
They're gonna fight.
Overcharge.
It's a halo fall.
Overcharge.
Might be-
Eat food.
it might be a lot of people.
Overcharge. Eat food. It's a lot of people. We're gonna. This is a fight.
They're
This is an
clamp
actual
comp.
fight.
They're clamp comp.
Yeah. Do you have boots?
They're going on.
No,
You don't have boots.
he kicks me away. He kicked me away.
Just run. I don't have heal anymore. I don't know. Oh my god.
Yo, they have way too much damage.
It's fine, we win.
You're going.
We're dropping
close,
cars.
so-
Dead.
Nice.
One dead.
Heal me.
He's
You didn't
purging
put stack.
all of-
No,
Dude,
you
I
didn't.
put stacks.
You put 4.
It's
You
fine,
put
we
4.
can win. Use focus.
Oh, this four. And then
Alright.
I have a rest spot. Here should be fine.
I jumped out.
Okay.
Okay. One stack.
We got this. Oh, he has
Attack.
great nature or great curse.
3 stacks.
I
He's
might
ready?
die, yeah.
Wait, big.
No, I'm good.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, I'm good.
Wait, we kill him. No, it put me in the wrong thing. I think
I'm
I
gonna have to
killed
run away.
him. I killed one more. Yeah, use kite. We win. Use kite. No, that's bad.
No, I'm good. I might be dead here actually.
I got
No,
Avalon already.
Okay, I'm good. For now.
If you survive a
might
little bit, we
be-
win.
Yeah. I have nothing. But they
I
have
got
nothing
Killian.
too, so
I got Killian.
Hey,
Okay, I'm
here! I just gonna kill this.
I'm dead.
Nice.
Oh no, I'm not dead.
Dhama.
Just keep running, keep running.
Their healer has no mana.
Neither do I though.
God. Okay, I'm good. Holy shit.
Kill one more.
On heal. On heal.
I'm pure.
On heal. Healer dead. Oh
Nah.
fuck! I killed.
No. Oh, you're alive!
Heal is low. Heal is low. Heal is.
I'm gonna go for heal.
Heal is running away. Heal is running away.
We kill him,
How
kill
you
him.
guys not dying? Killing him. I'm dying already.
Heal is dead.
Kill him.
I need
I'm
heals. I die. Please.
I'm fucked. So I'm have like 3,000 people in. Oh no, I'm dead. Alright.
How am I still alive?
I'm helping.
What is that
you.
gather on me? Save me! I'm gonna mount. Nah, I'm gonna get killed by the gatherer.